We're back and joined by Ken Timmerman. Ken Timmerman is one of our country's preeminent experts on a whole host of issues, having served for, well, decades as a very enterprising and courageous investigative reporter. He's also the author of numerous books, including several concerning Benghazi, dark forces, what really happened in Benghazi being one of the most important of them. He is, in addition to all of that, the president and CEO of the Foundation for Democracy in Iran. And we wanted to talk with him about the prospect that not only are we not going to get democracy in Iran, we're going to get a nuclear armed one in the near future. Ken Timmerman, it's good to have you with us. Welcome back to Securing America.
Thanks for having me on, Frank. It's great to be here.
I can't tell you how concerned I am, and I'm sure you are, and I think the people of America more generally ought to be, about what the Biden Harris administration is doing with respect to Iran. And unbelievably, through the most unlikely of intermediaries at that. Give us a quick update on what is going on at the moment, as best we can tell.
Well, what we've learned over the past 10 days or so, Frank, is extraordinary. The Russians are the prime intermediary in the talks between the U.S., the European Union, and the Iranian regime that have been taking place in Vienna.
It's
And
just unbelievable.
You have the Russian ambassador going on television talking about the amazing concessions that the Americans have made at these talks to Russia. It just boggles the mind. We're in the middle of trying to put pressure, at least that's what the administration says, on the Russian government, on their economy. And at the same time, we are guaranteeing them an upfront payment of $500 million from the Iranians to finish pieces of their nuclear program, and most likely enabling Russia to sell oil through the back door through Iran, and through that way also gain access to the international dollar clearing system. It's just crazy.
It's obscene, is what I think it is. It's if possible to have a deal worse than the original so-called Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. It sure sounds like the team that brought us that bad deal is now outdoing themselves to come up with such a defective piece of work. Ken, one of the pieces of this that is particularly offensive is that apparently it is going to entail yet another immense transfer of money. You mentioned $500 million. That's chump change compared to what these guys seemingly have in mind doing for their Iranian friends. Give us a sense of the magnitude of it, and what's it likely to be employed to do?
Well, so what we've heard is that the part of the deal will be to unfreeze something like $130 billion of Iranian oil money. This is money that they have earned through illegal oil deals that were banned by the United States, that has been parked in places like South Korea, in Hong Kong, in China, in Japan. And that money will be returned to Iran. It's Iranian money, okay? It is Iranian money, but it has been
illegal
oil sales, and a lot of these oil sales,
they got it illegally, but it's still their money, right?
Right, and a lot of these sales have been done through ship-to-ship transfers, a process that our friends at UANI, United Against Nuclear Iran, have been tracking quite diligently over the past couple of years, where they will have a ship from one country come to an Iranian oil loading port, and then it will go out to sea. They'll turn off the transponder and transfer that oil to another ship that has never been near Iran, and that ship will then take the oil to market, pretending it's something else. So that's how they've been actually doing it, but it's a huge amount of money. What are they going to do with it? You know what they're going to do with it. They're going to fund the Revolutionary Guards, the export of terrorism around the world. They're going to fund their proxy wars in Yemen, in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Iraq.
And in their operations, I'm sure, in places like Latin America and probably here as well. And Ken, not least, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, as I recall, is not only a terrorist operation, an arm of the regime that is used for that purpose, their Quds Force most especially, Hezbollah as well, but they're also the agency that runs the nuclear program, are they not? So if this money migrates into Iran, it will wind up not only sponsoring terrorism on an even heightened scale, but also assuring that Iran gets the nuclear weapon, which we're supposed to be believing this deal will prevent.
Right. Well, this deal gives them a clear pathway to the bomb. There's no doubt about it. It enables them to continue enriching uranium. It allows them to continue installing these much more modern fifth generation centrifuges as opposed to the first generation ones that they've had in the past. That's 5 times faster in enriching uranium. It's now believed that they can get enough highly enriched uranium for a bomb's worth of material in a month, 2 months maximum at the current rate. So they are very, very close to nuclear weapons capability if they have not already crossed that
Yeah,
threshold.
I remember being told they were 10 weeks away about
Right,
3 months ago. So
right,
presumably
right.
they're in tall cotton now. And Ken, this just brings home the problem that these guys, I can't imagine how they're going to sell this deal to anybody. Do they have to sell it to anybody at this point? Is there a congressional oversight and approval process that will be holding them accountable?
Well, remember when the last deal came about in 2015, the administration, the Obama administration, the Obama Biden administration did not present it to Congress. And it took senators in particular to pass a resolution condemning it, but they could not. They would not have a resolution to approve it. So it was never submitted as a treaty. They're not going to do that this time. They're going to bypass Congress because they know there's widespread bipartisan opposition to this deal in both houses of Congress, even with Democrats in control.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I can't imagine on what basis anybody would support this deal. And I'd be very interested to see who will, other than, I guess, the most devoted supporters of Iran in the United States Congress. Ken, we have to take a short break. When we come back, I want to talk with you about where this leaves the rest of the region at a very, very dangerous moment. And what it's going to mean for our security as well as that of friends on the Persian Gulf, as well as in Israel and more.